All right, wait, hold on 1 second. Let me flush the toilet. Hold on a second. I mean, if we're not recording, I might as well,
No, I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to start.
Totally on brand.
It's in there. All right, lads. Welcome to my podcast. Mick Thomas here, Cheaper Than Therapy. I normally have a nice fancy intro where I thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. But I think the sound of Neil Rubenstein flushing his toilet is just a perfect metaphorical and a literal description of my podcast. So the great Neil Rubenstein, everybody. All right, Neil, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good. So the first 4 minutes of our conversation was you on a toilet?
Yeah.
I guess that's the place where people get all the work done nowadays, right?
Well, I mean, that's that's where
That's the office.
Yeah, there's more video of. I've gotten more likes on YouTube with videos of me on the toilet than not on the toilet.
There's that video up of Mike Calcagno. I guess he's your partner, creative partner when it comes to a majority of your YouTube videos for sketches. And he did a great one with his wife about working. And then you guys did a follow-up where he plays a bathroom, a stretch, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So are you legit on the toilet in that one too, or just kind of?
I mean, I'm not. Yes, I was on the toilet. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's a funny sketch, guys. Definitely go check it out. But so what have you been doing, man? The one thing I'll say about you is when we start, the second it started, you come to mind, first of all, as one of the hardest working guys I know, because you've fucking so many fingers in different pies, creatively, of course.
Thanks, man.
That you're fucking everywhere. Like you really, really, really hustle on every aspect that you can hustle on, which is inspiring, man. Like there's been times I'll sit at home and I'll go, like, my podcast is, let's say, for example, I go, my podcast is fine. And then I'll see something like, fuck, but his is on YouTube. So now I'm in the middle of getting all my shit over to YouTube. And that's because fucking someone like you. But I just noticed the second it started, you were immediately creating support groups for comics, for anyone creative. But how are you managing during everything now that, like, not saying everything came to a halt for you, of course, but pretty much a lot of it did. So how are you coping now?
I'm having a hard time because I've like mentally accepted that, like, I'm effed.
Okay.
You know?
You can curse on this, by the way.
Huh?
You can curse on this show, by the way, if you want to.
Oh, yeah, thank you. When I can catch it, I don't. Like, I try not to curse if I can catch it.
Yeah. I get it.
But it's, I slip. Especially on my own podcast, I'm a blue streak because I'm not prepared. Sure.
I mean, you're in the toilet, for Christ's sake.
I know that I'm effed. You know what I mean? Like, I was in a place right before this where, like, I really felt like I was gaining a ton of momentum. My schedule was lined up where I was going to, like, actually make a decent amount of money coming up. And then, I feel like everything was, once everything was stopped, I'm not going to get that momentum back. That was like, 5 years or whatever of just like pushing and working and hard work. And it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, every club is going to go back to their day one guys. You know what I mean? Like, I had fought into these clubs over so long. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so I know that I'm not choice number one when it opens back up. So I don't think it'll be another 5 years before I'm back in the few clubs that I was working. But I do think it'll be like a year or two before I'm back in those clubs,
I mean, I disagree on that, especially for like, at the end of the day, I think clubs are going to be smart, right? And yes, I think I said this before. I think the kings will come down from the mountains, right? Like the big
Yeah.
guys now will start
Yeah.
popping into the clubs, and if they're going to, like, if someone walks in, well, I'll top of my head, if a Bill Burr walks into a club, right, because his theater gig's going to be cancelled for a while, and he wants to do an hour, that's going to eliminate 3 to 4 comics off the show. But that's not going to be every club, and I really think if every club is smart enough, they're going to, as kind as they were for putting, how do you say, not less talented, but not guys on the way up, right, who are just not that strong yet and haven't found their groove yet. I think that might hold. But you were funny, man. Like, from, like, you always did your job though. Like, and I think if they're smart, they're not going to look for, is it a big name? Because I could sit here, as could you, we could name 10 comics who are big names that if you took away that name, they're like,
Well,
all right.
I think it's not even about that. It's not. It's like a club in Oklahoma City is going to book, the 20 or 30 guys within 4 hours of the place before they book the guy who's got to come 18 hours.
Right.
That's what I think is going to happen. You know what I mean? And then on the other hand, it's like, before this was happening, there was enough going on in my life where that 18-hour trip I could make work. Whereas if that's the only thing I have for a whole month, I don't know that I can make that work,
Sure.
There's just little things where I'm just like, all right, that this might be, comedy might have to take a back seat for the first time in a while. And I don't want to get to that point. But, I mean, fortunately, which is a weird thing to say, fortunately right now I can't go work somewhere else, so it doesn't matter.
Sure.
So I just plug away doing as much as I can. And then hopefully,
But didn't you step away a few years ago, took a break for a while from stand-up, or did you just go down, separate avenues?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I started whenever I started, and then I stopped in like 2009 or 10.
Right.
And then I just, I quit completely. I was just disillusioned by a lot of things. But then when I came back to it, like in 15, I probably quit my job in like 2016.
Yeah.
Like I quit my job like pretty quickly into that. And I've been coasting. I mean, I haven't been, not killing it,
No, but when you came back though, man, like, and again, this is kind of to speaking to the type of person you are. When you came back, you immediately, at least the clubs I saw, you excelled. You know what I mean? Very, very fast. And then I would catch you online, and I'm like, holy fuck, like he's in this club. And then I'm like, holy fuck, he's over here. And it was like, there's very few guys that, because I kind of within myself, pride my own work ethic, right? About how far I can go on my own gauge and this kind of stuff. Very few guys make me go, all right, you better get the fuck. And then all of a sudden I would see a page like yours. I'm like, holy shit, he's gunning for you, man. You better get the fuck up and start, like, and you made me work harder. You were one of the few guys that did that. So I
appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I mean it, man. It's like, you can never get comfortable. And then you see a guy and you go like, fuck, if I keep sitting on at the pace I'm in and the comfort level I'm in, then that guy's going to take your spot, because at the end of the day, you're competing against yourself. I'm not really competing against you, and vice versa.
No, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? But if you get to a certain level only because you're working, like, do I believe in talent? I mean, Conor McGregor doesn't believe in talent, is what he says. He goes, I only believe in hard work. There's no such thing as talent. There's only hard work. And if you're to follow that guideline, man, you've made me move. You made me move.
You're like, well, you're talentless. Oh, you go by that. I do agree that. Yeah. I do agree that you're talentless.
You know what I meant? I said if I agreed with that.
I think that you need a certain amount of talent to make the hard work worth it,
or damage if you're a comic.
Yeah, but I do see. I mean, I get you can. I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the thank you.
All right, so hey, listen.
I always felt like no one's, and this goes for everybody. I mean, no one's at a shortage for things they can, comics they can book, or
Right,
videos they can watch, or you know, there's no shortage of entertainment. There's no shortage of content. There's no shortage of comedians. So if you want to, if you want to be making forward progress, you have to push that cart. Like no one's no one's lining up to give Neil Rubenstein a hand up. But
right,
if I show them that giving me a hand up benefits them in the long run, because I'm just going to get better, and I'm going to be with them for years, and they're going to get multifaceted things from me. You know what I mean? Like
right.
if I show them that by helping me out now, when I'm a headliner, I'm going to do my special there, or I'm going to end up on Netflix, or I'm going to have a YouTube video from your club with millions of hits. If I show
Sure.
that to them, then they're more likely to help me than Joe Schmo, who's like, oh, I just want to get up here now until I can do theaters. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
until I
yeah,
can get into the real clubs. And
yeah.
I'll
It makes sense.
and I'll drive whatever 16 hours to do Cedar Rapids. Whereas a lot of comics will hear Cedar Rapids and be like, "What? I'm going to Cedar Rapids." It's like, well, it's your loss because that city's dope, and you know.
Yeah, I was like that too. Like I was never afraid. The distance to me was always, and plus not being from here, I just like to see
Yeah.
other fucking places. You know, it's like, and it's like the show was the bonus part of it, but the journey for me, like I know that sounds very, but literally was like, not to sound like a fucking philosophical douchebag, but
And
literally
with
the journey for me is what sold it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Well, I get to go to this town that I've never seen or heard of before.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to go. You know, like even right now, I'm in talks with South Carolina that just opened up. So to get down to one of their clubs in the near future, um, so I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm trying to play around with that idea, if I will, if I won't go, if it's advisable or not to go down. How do you feel about everything that's going on? Like not from a political point of view, because I know you're very outspoken. Kind of when it all started. Like, do you are
I
you one of those? Go ahead.
I 100% believe it's real. I believe it's
Okay.
terrible. I am scared to get it and die. But what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to never
Right.
work again? I have to work. So if the places are safe, if they're gonna wipe down the microphone, or I can avoid. I don't need a mic. If it's 20, if it's 40 people in a room, I can. I don't need a microphone.
Yeah.
I can not.
I
I can not shake anyone's hand. I can stand 6 feet away from someone.
Yeah, we can make it work. We can make it work.
Just,
I just,
if
I think stand up is what phase 3 of any opening procedure.
yeah, but I'm seeing it already. There's a couple of clubs in the Midwest that are open, and Ryan Broth from Comics just is doing this weekend like a big open air event. Not a big, I mean, what, 40 seats, but open air. Like it's an outdoor, which is legal now in some places in Connecticut. So they're
Really?
abiding by social distancing rules, and everyone's got to wear a mask. And
It's not a terrible idea to get a venue going like that, an open air one, you know?
me and Tom DeSillis were talking about trying to do an open mic like that.
We did. I've done plenty of open air ones at festivals. I've done maybe 5, 6 open air shows. They're very weird
They're weird.
because it's not even just the surrounding about you. It's just like the laugh. You don't get the laughter.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Doesn't hit you in the face. It just goes right up into oblivion. And it's hard to kind of feed back off. It's kind of hard to feed off the energy that you're not getting. And then now, if you cover the faces,
Yeah.
you don't even know if they're laughing or
Yeah.
not.
I think that's
Which
gonna
is
be everywhere. You know what I mean? That's just like you're just that big laugh. That's gonna be hard to come by, I think, for a while.
Yeah, but then like not if they kind of figure this out. Like everyone wears masks and how are you supposed to drink? How are you supposed to eat? Two drink minimum. How are you supposed to eat? You know, and then also
that's the fucking hypocritical thing. See, it got me cursing. That's the
go ahead.
hypocritical thing of it all. It's like all these like I see these people like, oh, wear a mask, wear a mask, you have to wear a mask, and then like I see them in the park with a mask and a slice of pizza, and it's like, are you? How do you doing that? Is your pizza wearing a mask? Or is it getting the COVID on it and then you're eating the pizza? Like, I don't. How did that work? How does that work?
There was a commercial which reminds me. It brings me back to when I was like literally a child watching TV, right? And the AIDS pandemic came out, and they were making comedy commercials to try and make it kind of sink in rather than to go. Let's laugh at this disease while educating, right? And who was the guy who played Drop Dead Fred? Rick. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Drop Dead Fred.
Do you remember that movie? It was big over in America, even though it was a British movie.
No.
Rick, do you remember there was a TV show called The Young Ones came out of Europe?
Oh, I remember MTV, The Young Ones.
Yeah, but there's a guy called...
There's a Neil.
No, let me see if I can Google this shit here too while I'm chatting to you. But anyway, the commercial was he was sitting at home and he was learning about AIDS, right? Everyone was learning about AIDS on the TV, and it says, always wear a condom when you're blah, 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 right? So in this commercial, Rick something, his real name is Drop Dead Fred. So what happens, he's making out with this girl on the couch, right? They're just making out, and he takes out a condom and he opens it and he puts it right across, like he folds it out and lays it on his groin area, like totally in a jeans. Right. And then all of a sudden, like as they're making out, it slips off his crotch and he goes, oh my God, we got AIDS now. We got AIDS. And it was kind of like, like, no, you fucking idiots. That's not how you have to put it on here. I've been walking around like Walmart now, like a lot. That's my go-to to get out and fucking, I mask up, glove up, do all that shit. And it's people around Walmart are just walking around and they're wearing this fucking thing and they just have it on their chin. Like it doesn't mean you have to wear a fucking, like, just wear the mask. You have to fucking cover it up, you asshole.
Dude,
Rick Mail. That was the guy, Rick Mail.
The whole thing is this just everyone's I can't. It's yeah. I want to be safe. I don't want to get a disease, but also how long am I supposed to be out of work? The government's not helping me. Phone bills still due, car payments still due.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It fucking stinks. I mean, the thing too, which is pissing me off now, is like how the government, when I say the government, I don't mean, I'm not going all the way up to Trump, right? I'm not one of those guys, but the local people, like I jog to stay healthy. Right next to me, there's a field, right? It's a football field with little workout stations. And I jog around, it's a quarter of a mile, and I jog around the perimeter. I set my timer for an hour, and I just go. I listen to podcasts, audiobook. I stop at these little workout stations, and I do whatever, 10 pull-ups, run around, stop. 10, and then when I come back around, I do it again, and whatever it is, right? So, and I don't count. I just go for the hour. Every time, there's one woman who calls the cops on me. And like, I'm the only person in this open field, and the cops pull up, and they wave to me, and I go, hey, man. And I walk slowly off the field, head down, and they go, I'm sorry, buddy. When we get the call, we have to respond to it. Right? So in other words, they don't want to do it. But my friend last night, and I put it online, Christian Vasquez, who is the owner of out in Shirley, Strong Island Boxing, he goes in there at nighttime. And what he does is he sets up his phone and he does an free online class. Like, hey, guys, follow this. He does shadow boxing, jump rope, push-ups, sit-ups. Come on, guys, work out with me. And there's a video up, and I put it on my Facebook last night that the fire marshal showed up and gave him a cease and desist.
What?
Letter. Yeah, man. It's fucking disgusting. It's just one guy by himself, and he's not even making money from it. He's just trying to keep his regular customers that, hey, guys, we're still here together, right? We're still with you. I'm still keeping an eye on you. You know what I mean? And it's like... I'm telling you, but like the thing that's pissing me off now, right? And at the start of this, I was all in, right? I was all in, just like you. I'm still afraid of it. I found out the other day from talking to my mother that before my dad died, they think he had it. I mean, he died of cancer, riddled with cancer, nothing to do. The coronavirus had nothing to do with it, but they think it kind of passed through his system. But so I was all in relation to the dangers. I still am. I don't want to get it. You don't want elderly people to get it because it's fucking killing people. But for essential workers, like, how is someone stacking T-shirts at Walmart?
Yeah.
And I don't want these people to lose their job either. By it, I'm not saying like, come on, close them down, but like, how is he allowed close? But a guy who owns a pizzeria or like, how are they meant? Why do they have to stay closed?
If you can order something on Amazon and the guy has to, the $12 an hour guy has to go drive it to you and bring it to you, then why can't a tattoo shop or a barber shop by appointment? They stay safe. You know what I mean? Like why can't those guys do their business?
I agree with you 100%.
How come the only people still making money is Amazon, Walmart, Target, big food suppliers, big food chains, Nissan, the banks? You have to pay those guys. I got to pay Nissan every month, but Nissan doesn't have any employees because so they're not paying their employees. I just pay them. I just keep giving them money.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, if to even to go to Target or Walmart, right? Like, I get it. Like, if you want to leave the food part open, but how the fuck can I walk down and buy a TV if I want to? How can I walk by now and buy a plunger for my, like, you know what I mean? That whole section should be sectioned off. So if the young guy packing underwear and T-shirts is there, like, why can't fucking Sal's Pizzeria be open?
It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why can't this guy teach a boxing class virtual? No one's in the building. He's safe.
No one's in the building.
He owns that building. He's paying rent He's still paying rent on that fucking place. Why can't he use the place?
Oh yeah, and his landlord is not. That was last night, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Very beginning. That's what I said from the very beginning. I was like, we're heading down a slippery slope. I understand why we're doing what we're doing, but when you give up the right to assemble, you're giving the police the right to arrest you for any reason. Any reason. And they're doing it. They're beating up people in parks and they're beating up people on the street just because they say, oh, it's a social distancing rule. Oh, I'm gonna arrest you. And I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get beat up by the cops.
Yeah, it's a crock of shit. Like, at this stage now, it's gone on to, like, I think people should be allowed to open their business as long as they follow certain guidelines and give people the option. Like, if you, like, for example, you said, like, you don't want to get it, right? I definitely don't want to get it. So you should have the option if you want to go to a comedy club or to go get a pizza or fucking whatever it is, instead of just being told, no, you're not allowed.
I should have been allowed from the very, very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning I understood because nobody knew what it was, and then you got the videos and stories coming out. They still
know the same thing. This is the craziest thing to me is that the whole point of this was to flatten the curve. That's what they kept telling us, right? Flatten the curve.
Right.
Flatten the curve just means the same amount of people get it and die from it, just over a longer period of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at no point was this about saving lives. This was about spreading out the death so it didn't overwhelm hospital workers. So it's like, all right, well, if we're all going to have to get it anyway, what are we doing?
And I think the testing too, nobody's getting tested either though, right? Like, there's no testing.
I think now testing is more readily available, but I don't think it's like really like super readily available.
Do you trust it? Do you trust the numbers?
My wife was just saying that the other day. She was like, there's so many false positives and false negatives. How can you trust it?
Yeah.
Trust it the same thing. You like to you. So if your disease is real and these people are dying from it, well, then I have to trust that the tests work. Like
Yeah.
I'm just using that
I guess you
that
got no
logic. You know what I
choice,
mean?
right?
Like, all right, like I'm already a paranoid lunatic enough to begin with, but I'm gonna add.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
When do you see it falling back into place of somewhat of
I think Long
normalcy?
Island's going
Yeah.
to be slow on the uptick. I think New York City is. I think where it's going to be. I think it's going to be at least like September, October for New York City to like be open for, any kind of gatherings at all. Maybe, maybe at the end of summer there'll be like sidewalk restrictions lifted, but Long Island, I don't know. I think probably sooner than later because it's people seem to be people seem to
Yeah,
yeah
very
people
antsy,
seem to
man.
be
It's very antsy. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it,
Yeah.
but I get it. And the people that want to work, I think they should be allowed to work. Like, let it be up to the people. You don't want to go get a haircut? Don't get a haircut. That's fine. But
Yeah,
why can't the barbershop? Why
that's
can't that guy pay for his building? He's got to pay rent. He's been paying rent this whole time. No one's helping him out.
yeah. If you're lucky enough to have a landlord that understands, which is very rare, right? You're going to be somewhat fine. But if you don't, you're fucked. The landlord doesn't care. The landlord, I mean, but then again, what's the landlord? Who's going to come in and take you know what I mean?
Hey, so forget the landlord. There's other, you know what I mean? Like he still has his kid to feed and him to feed, and he still
Mm-hmm.
has to pay insurance. You know what I mean? He still has to pay. Like there's still like other expenses on top of that, like his utilities and his phone bill, and you know what I mean. Like it's not like he doesn't have any bills to pay. It's like you're still hemorrhaging money, just like everybody. I mean, I'm saying, just like everybody, we're all just hemorrhaging money. You
Sure,
know what I mean?
sure.
We all have phone bill, we all have car payment, we all have, food expenses. I mean, that's bare minimum stuff. If the only way I
Yeah,
can make
it's
money, it and that's the other thing. It's like the people, the most self-righteous of the people that are like, stay home, f your freedoms, all those. All right, well, do something for someone else. Do something. Help people out. You don't have to. It
yeah,
doesn't have to cost money.
yeah,
You know what? Put on YouTube in the background. You know what I mean? Like I make
right,
money from you viewing my things. So just click play on the
sure.
playlist. Open another window in front of that window. You don't even have to. You know what I mean? Like turn the sound off. Turn the sound off. Put the window behind the thing. All right, now you're helping people out. Now you're helping out small. Now you're helping out artists. You're helping out content creators. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
like photoshopping off the creator's name to the meme about the mask that you're reposting. You know what I mean? And then order wine from
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah,
It's like how is that essential? You know what I mean? Like I get so I don't even
right. There's ways to
I
help
can't
each
even
other,
like I
right?
can't even formulate actual like I can't even formulate the correct thoughts because it's so crazy to me. It's so frustrating.
So where's your energy going now, man? What, like, I mean, how many podcasts do you have?
I just have the one, and I don't even like doing it. I really,
That's the one.
yeah,
Was it stuck? Is it stuck in
so
traffic?
it's in
I don't want to
traffic.
ruin
Uh, there's been no traffic. I don't even,
it.
dude. I don't even enjoy doing the podcast. I feel like I'm doing it just to do it at this point. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's a muscle though, man. It's a
yeah,
creative muscle too. You know what I mean? The second you kind of, like, I went on a rant on a podcast either this week or the week before, and I just kind of it stirred up in me, and I wrote it down afterwards, and I was like, holy shit, that's a bit now. That's not COVID
yeah,
related, because the writing is like pretty much stopped. Because I don't want to be the guy that comes. I don't want to be like every other guy that has. Hey, remember we have to wear. You know what I mean? That whole homeschool your kids joke. Like
yeah.
every COVID-19 joke is going to come out, And by the end of the night, an audience member, or the end of a month, especially the way some guys don't turn over material, it's just going to be the same shit over and over again. Even though it might be different, it's still the same. So my writing has been very stagnant. But now I've got 4 or 5 bits kind of that came along that are not COVID related. And I think the podcast, just by talking and ranting, is a great way to kind of to come up with something, you know, to keep yourself creative. So I would definitely not bail on that. Even if you shorten your podcast down to 20 minutes, you know what I mean? It's just keeping something going, you know?
I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to refer to stuff as like I don't know if you saw me say this, but just another piece of styrofoam on the internet landfill. Like that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm just creating so much garbage that eventually murders a dolphin. You know, like I just so I have the
But you can't though, man. All it takes is for like fucking if you get 20 people who just like it, and then all of a sudden they hook on, and it's like even if it's for like I look at my listeners every week and I go, wow, this is more than what would actually turn up to a comedy club to listen to just me, you know?
I'm fully aware of that. I went from 300 subscribers to 2,500 subscribers. I went from getting 4 views on a thing to getting 50 views on a thing. I get it. I understand, and I keep doing it. But if it doesn't catch by the end of this pandemic, I'm gonna have to get a job.
Shit, man. Well, listen, I hope my my listeners can go out there. Tell the people where to find you.
If you go to neilrubenstein.com, there's links to all of it. The YouTube channel, the comedy, the podcast, my Instagram where you find all my dumb memes about the COVID virus.
Which are great.
It's like pick a side, you know what I mean?
All right, Neil, listen, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but fuck it, man. Some you can wake up and depending on your. Sometimes I wake up like that too, and I'm like, all right, I'm pro people, and then I'm like, yeah, fuck the government, and then I'm like, no, you know what? The government are doing the right thing by us. Let's just hear them out, guys. Let's just put down the pitchforks. It really is, dude.
It depends on who. It depends on who I'm talking to or what I'm reading. Like if someone's like, yeah, I'm like, he's doing an all right job, and then someone's like, Trump's the best, and I'm like, nah, the government whacked.
It's like that scene in Reservoir Dogs. Remember Mr. Pink?
Yeah.
Arguing over
look
the
how
tip?
You convinced me.
And he's like, you know what?
You convinced me.
Yeah, he's convinced me. Give me back my dollar.
I'm like that. Like it's really bad. I'm like, COVID's real. I'm scared. Like I'm like, I don't want to go to the supermarket. And then I'll see something on CNN, like Dr. Fauci will come on CNN, and I'm like, F this, I'm going outside, I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm licking people. That's how I say hello now.
There's a scene in Friends where Joey's filming a movie with like a famous actor.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Fucking the guy plays Commissioner Gordon from Batman.
On each other.
I remember that. Just right.
I found a picture of
fucking hell
in your past.
And then at the end of it, like Joey just no peace sound, just goes.
He just finishes a sentence and then spits. I kind of how I do. That's not okay. Sometimes I want to do it. That's not okay.
Fuck, that's great.
Like a COVID related, like social distancing things, and like spitting on people, like putting something in your mouth.
You fucking should. You fucking should, man. That'd be hysterical. Or just go up and randomly handcuff people together.
So funny. Oh my god. All right. Well, thank you.
Fucking great. I appreciate you coming on, man. Everybody, check out Neil, neilrubenstein.com for everything. I can guarantee you're going to laugh. His videos are hysterical. His memes are great. Just go check him out. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Any comments, concerns, send them to my Instagram page. That's where I get all my messages from, Mick Thomas Comedy. And take care of yourselves. Look out for one another. And don't forget to wash yourselves, you dirty fuckers. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody. Good luck to you now. Good luck.